Murder, She Watched contains adult themes and adult language. Listener discretion is advised. Murder, She Watched is for entertainment purposes only. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Murder, She Watched, the podcast where we solve murders from our couch. My name is Amye Archer. I'm your host. I'm here today with my crime-solving partner, Kyla.
Hi. Hello,
Hi.
friend.
How are you today?
I'm good. Like I just told you, I was excited to record after my
Same.
9 to 5. I was like, oh, I can't wait to sit down and talk to Amye.
You know what I did all day?
What?
I had to take notes on, I'm recording, we're doing it for Murder Club, our Patreon, which is now $8.
Yes.
I heard the feedback.
There
I
you
want to
go.
address this for 1 second.
Go for it.
So I'm a big advocate. I think it's from my teaching and being a writer, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm used to having criticism and feedback, like constructive criticism and feedback. So I priced our bonus content at $10 and I just feel like people felt it was a little high. And I'm like, I get that. I totally get that.
Well,
so I dropped it down to $8 and I don't want anyone, like, I've gotten a lot of supportive messages and people are like, you didn't have to do that. I know I didn't have to.
Yeah.
But I'm a firm believer that if you get the same feedback kind of consistently, then it's worth paying attention to.
That is very good logic to adhere to. And this is why you're very good at what you do, Amye.
Well, I don't know if that's true, but thank you.
Well, but it matters. Yes, you're welcome.
So I listened. It's $8 now. So if you want to support the show, that's a great way to do it. But anyway, we are doing Dr. Adam from Sister Wives Professors coming on over, and he's going to talk about the Jeffrey Epstein doc with me.
Oh gosh.
I've been in a blind rage all day. That's all I can say. Taking notes on that shit show. Yeah.
Oh, how can you look into that for 2 seconds and not be full of rage? Ugh.
And then I'm really tempted to do a deep dive on the murder mystery, on his death, on the conspiracies.
I think that's a fabulous idea because there's so many.
Do you think he died how they say? I don't want to really talk
How
about
they
it too much,
say?
but how the official record, do you believe it?
No.
Me either.
No.
Me either.
No, I don't.
There's no way.
No.
There's no way.
No, that's a fabulous idea. I think that's amazing.
It'll be fun.
Oh,
it'll be fun.
That's awesome.
But the documentary itself it's Jeffrey Epstein, Filthy Rich. It's based on a book by James Patterson. I didn't realize that. And
I didn't know that either.
Yes, and he executive produced the documentary. So it's
cool. Okay.
It's good because if you're going to say one thing about James Patterson, whether you like him or not, he knows how to tell a story. He's a writer.
He's very good at that.
So I think he had some say in how this was shaped. I don't know if he was exactly hands-on, but it was good. It was good.
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, so we are here today.
We got a wild story today.
Before we start, have you been listening to the Brian Walsh coverage, the trial?
I need to do a comprehensive listen to it all. It's hard because it's one that I don't want to just piece it together, but there's so much. I need to sit down and knock it all out.
So wild. Like basically, there's a lot of the same players from Karen Reed.
Yeah, that's what's wild.
It's interesting. Massachusetts State Police. But also what's so fascinating about this is he's pleading guilty to dismembering her and getting rid of the body, but saying that she just died of mysterious causes in the middle of the night. So all the Google searches of how to get rid of a body, how does a body not smell, how do I murder my wife and get away with it? Basically, like, how do I commit this crime without anyone knowing? He's saying, I don't know. That's just
Amye.
And here's the problem. They don't know if the police officers who got that data.
Yeah.
I don't know if they read him the proper rights or did it the right way.
Oh, it's always something like that.
Yeah. However, so whether that happens or not, however, they did read the text or the searches, in court. So the jury has heard them.
Okay.
So even if, for some reason they have to strike it or something, it's there.
It's there. It's there. Speaking of juries, I'm glad you said that. This is a little story from this week I wanted to talk about on here with you. This will blow your mind. And I know we've talked about being surprised by people who don't live in the crime world and don't think about it.
Yeah.
Okay. One of my friends this week was shocked when they found out that defense attorneys lie. Take that
What?
in. Yes, that was what I said. I said, "What?"
This is
And
like my mother when she found out politicians lie.
yes, it's just
She's
like
like, "But
that.
he's lying." And I'm like, "Mom,
Yeah.
and?"
Yeah. That's what I said. I was like, "What did you just say?" And he said,
Yeah.
"Yeah." So,
There's ways to
they can
lie that you
confess
can
what they did, and then
Yeah.
they're gonna lie. I said, "Well, yeah, that's what their job is." And we were going back and forth, and I was like going on about the prosecution's responsibility is the burden of proof, and the defense needs to poke holes in that and cause reasonable doubt. And he was like, "But they're lying."
Yeah.
And then I went
Yeah.
on a rant about
And not
how
all of them lie. A
no.
lot of defense attorneys that I've seen in the zeitgeist of true crime have been like, "There's a lot I don't want my client to tell me."
Oh,
Like, I'm
yes.
just gonna, he deserves he mostly here.
Yes.
He
Well,
deserves a fair trial. Let's give it
yeah.
to him. And here's what we need to do. Yeah. Yeah.
But they're gonna tell little fiblets sometimes, and yeah, and then we were
Yeah.
talking about how you're at the mercy of a jury, and I said, "This is
Mm.
why." Oh, it was a whole thing, and then I
This
just
is
let
why you
it.
don't put me on a jury or Becca because we saw how that goes.
Well, I can have a little recency bias sometimes.
Yeah.
Not
That was happening
always.
to me with John Bonet a lot.
See, that's one that I
Mhm.
have such recency
Mhm.
bias on is JonBenet. I
Yeah.
flip-flop on that like crazy,
Yeah.
so
Me too.
yeah, no.
All right. Now, what did you think of the Rocky Mountain Mortician murder? It was on ID or HBO
Yes.
2025, very recent. What did you think of this documentary?
I enjoyed it.
I liked it
I
too.
know that, we had heard that, some people weren't into it. I enjoyed it.
Some people
I
thought it was slow, but I didn't.
I didn't. I was expecting it to be slow because you and I had talked about it, but I felt like there was twists and turns and stuff that I didn't see coming and all these fascinating characters involved. This
I
whole
agree.
town and how many funeral homes do they need in that radius of
It reminded me of what was the one I covered with Axel? The Mortician, I think it was
Yes.
called. Like
Yes.
these funeral home people are out of control.
You know what's funny? I saw a Reddit thread saying that. Somebody was like, "What is up with these morticians?" It's the dentist and the mortician.
Yikes. Wow.
But no, I liked it. I thought it was interesting and I wasn't bored.
I
You know
wasn't
me,
bored
that's
at
what I always
all.
say.
It had the quirkiness of, was it Southern? What was that? You know
Oh,
what I'm talking about?
not Southern Fried.
No, because that's the podcast.
Yes, but yes, I know what you're talking about. Why can't I think of the name of that? But that's
Oh,
very similar vibe. Absolutely.
yeah.
And I felt like everyone was just talking. They're
It
just
was
telling their
on it was
story.
it was on Peacock. Oh, what was that called? It's gonna drive me
Yeah,
crazy.
it's gonna bother me too, actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause and look it up
We're gonna
real quick. Okay. Okay, Kyla found it. It's Southern Fried Lies.
It was
Okay. We did cover it here. And it
Mhm.
was quirky and it was one of the aesthetics felt the same to me.
Yes, that's a good point.
And
And
it was, like a small town kind of thing. I don't know. I
yeah.
liked it.
And I liked how there was lots of kind of open secrets in this town that people
Mhm.
thought they were hiding and all
Mhm.
how everybody's connected to each other a little bit. It was fascinating to me.
Mhm.
Fascinating.
I'm trying to see because normally I looked this up, but I did not. I'm trying to see who directed it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I want to see if they're done by the same person. Okay, we looked it up and they're not the same person. However, the person who did Rocky Mountain Mortician Murder
Yeah.
is the director, producer, director, writers Donnie Eichar, and he did something we know, Taken Together, Who Killed Lyric and Elizabeth. Now, I did not see that because it's hard for me to watch.
That's a horribly heartbreaking
Child murder
story, but
stuff. Yeah,
that's very interesting and
yeah.
heartbreaking.
So he did that. He did The People versus the Klan, which has really high reviews. But
Oh.
he did. Do you remember in 2016 there was this show? It was a murder show, and it was The Killing Fields. Do you
Yeah.
remember that? And
Yes.
you had the grizzled New Orleans detective. What was his name?
He
Like
did that?
Roddy or Rhodey?
Oh my
Rhodey
god.
Sanchez. Yes.
Yes,
Do you
I
remember
watched
that
that.
show? Yeah, I
Yes, because I
watched it
was in
too.
the fix of toddler time at that during
Yes.
that year. Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
So
6
he did
degrees of
that.
separation.
Yeah, which is good. So, yeah, okay. But it has the aesthetic and the quirkiness of like a small town, whatever. All
That's
right,
awesome. I'm excited.
let us begin, shall we?
I thought you were
We
gonna
are
say, "Let us
begin-
pray." I was like,
we are
"What?"
beginning. This is, by the way, the case of the murder of Byron Griffy. He is the
Yes.
victim. Okay.
Mhm.
We're in Florence, Colorado, where the population is 3,862. Currently, about 1,500 more people than the town I live in currently.
How many funeral homes are in your town?
None,
Really? Okay.
really. Yeah,
Well,
I can't think of one.
watch out if they start coming in and getting multiple set up.
So Charles and Anthony Wright are half brothers, and they moved to this town from Salt Lake City. They become funeral directors, and you can make a lot of money as a funeral director.
Yeah, you can.
Now, immediately, I'm like, something's up here because we're only meeting Anthony. So we know Charles is either in jail or dead.
Yep, they're either gonna do the surprise jail interview later,
Mhm,
or he's
mhm.
not with us.
Yep. Byron Griffy was a pillar of the community, and he was another funeral director, and he was also, I believe, the
coroner.
coroner. Thank you.
Yeah, the coroner.
And he sort of mentored these guys when they came to
Mhm.
town. He helped them buy some equipment. He,
Yeah, you helped get
whatever.
him established.
Yeah. And so October 12th, 2012, Charles and Anthony go to Fowler to meet
Mhm.
Byron for lunch, and he's nowhere to be found. And it was weird.
Mm. Yep,
And they decide to turn around and leave.
after. Yep, just a quick stop.
They drive an hour to get there, by the way,
Mhm,
then
mhm.
turn around and leave. So 8:06 p.m. that night, we hear a 911 call from Gina, Byron's
Mhm.
daughter-in-law.
His daughter.
She's very distraught. She's
Yeah.
found him dead. She says there's blood everywhere, which there really wasn't.
I thought that too. Yeah, they showed the very small blood spatter.
But I'm like, you know what? If that was me, God forbid, and I found one of my parents and there was even a little blood, I'd be like, there's blood everywhere.
I would do the same
Doesn't
thing.
have to be a Kathleen Peterson situation for me to be
No.
upset.
That's well, and I wrote, I hope with everything, I mean, I never find one of my loved ones in a situation like this. I mean, that goes without saying, but
Yeah.
God, that just
So Lynette, I believe, was a later in life lesbian because she has like a family and she had
that
a
was the way I
marriage and
took it too.
stuff. And that has all broken up, and she's moved home with their kids, and Byron is her father.
Mhm,
And when she came back, he bought her a home, and she talks about him
mhm,
like I talk about my dad.
mhm. I know,
Like
I
she's
thought that
like,
too.
I don't know if I was his favorite, but he was mine. And she
Oh, I
starts to cry, and
know.
I'm like, oh, Lynette.
I know, that's me and my dad too. I mean, I
Mhm.
feel that, and it's
We
just,
are daddy's girls. We've talked about this.
yes, big
Yes.
time.
So when she came out to him, she was really nervous about it because,
Mhm.
he's an older man. It's a conservative place.
Yep, it's a big
So,
change for her.
yeah. So she tells him, and he's like, you know what? You're not alone. There's a lot of gay people in the world. And, it doesn't change anything.
Absolutely, he was
Mhm.
supportive.
Gina, Lynette's wife, says Byron was our biggest supporter when we met and got together. And
Yeah.
he accepted my kids like they were his own grandchildren.
Yeah.
So on the surface, you're like, everything seems great.
It sounds pretty and fine right now.
No way it can be this good.
No.
No. Mm-mm.
We're trying to make things sound a little too perfect.
Yeah. So Carol Coates is the police chief.
Mhm.
And she says Byron was laid out about 2.5 feet from the wall, and the crime scene was immaculate.
It was weird.
It was very clean.
It was spotless, and the splatter was so low to the
Mhm.
ground.
And this was a farmhouse that the family didn't live in. They still owned it, but they didn't live there.
Yeah, they had moved out
They had
already.
moved out. So it was empty. So he was presumably only there to meet Charles and Anthony
Yeah, that's
for
what I would
lunch.
assume.
Mhm. James Bullock, the DA, says it was almost like Byron was staged to look like he was in a casket.
Yes,
Like he
they
was
said the way
laying
he
on
was
his
laid
back.
out.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yikes.
You and I both went like this.
We did. We both just did the classic vampire coffin pose.
So Charles and Anthony are very upset about this murder, obviously. I mean, this is their
Yeah.
friend.
100%.
So they head over to the Colorado Bureau of Investigation right away, the CBI, and they want to help by telling them the timeline.
Mhm.
Don't most killers insert themselves into the
I was just
investigation
gonna
right away?
say, that's one of those things.
Mhm. Got
Again,
an eye
pro
on
tip,
you, Charles and Anthony.
when people are a little too eager.
Mm. So everyone says Charles and Anthony were very involved in the community. They even opened up a church and became a bishop and a deacon, and they owned a bunch of businesses. I'm
This
like, wait
was
a minute, back up,
crazy.
back up. Opened up a church?
They said that? I was like, "Can you just
Yeah.
open up a church?"
If you want tax status, yeah.
Oh,
Mm.
yeah. I just, and that's a tiny little town.
It's a tiny town.
Now, does your town have a mayor? I was gonna ask you about this.
No, we have
Okay.
a board of supervisors.
That's how the town I grew up in
Yeah.
is small like that too, and when they said there was a mayor, I was like, "What?"
Mm-hmm.
'Cause there's just the board of, yeah, they have, like, the town council, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thought that was interesting.
I do too. So they owned a bunch of businesses, like I said, and one of them was Smashing Good Guitars, where Eric was an employee. So Eric,
Oh, Eric.
Eric, Pat, and Laura figure prominently in this. Eric and Pat are brothers.
Mhm.
Laura is their mother.
Yes.
It's a lot of people to keep track of here.
There's a lot of people in this.
Mhm. I only take names of people who really say something that, we need to remember.
Mhm.
So, they also collected a ton of shit. They had 37
Yeah.
vehicles, guitars, of course, guns, animals.
Tons.
Anthony said,
Yeah.
if I saw a little turtle on the street that
turtle.
needed saving, I would
I'd
take him in.
take
Like
He had a
just
squirrel.
he had a squirrel. He painted himself as like this benevolent figure.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. I'm always anybody that does that.
Yeah.
Raising an eyebrow.
Eric says Charles was estranged from his kids, but we didn't really know why. Put a pin in that.
Mhm.
And Anthony was kind of the brains behind the brothers.
Yeah.
So they get Byron's cell phone, and it's a little flip phone.
It was a little
And
Motorola flip phone.
It was. And at 12:43, we see Charles calling him. And at 12:47-ish again, we see. Okay. So in his interview, Charles says, I was definitely closer to Byron. And they ask him, do you think he would be capable of taking his own life?
Mhm.
And Charles like, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I do.
Totally, that's what it was. Mhm.
He asked me last month to borrow a handgun, and I said no. Well, isn't that convenient?
Right, exactly. There's a lot of that in this, with people just having very convenient things to say at very convenient times.
Yeah. And then if you say that you said no, like, I'm surprised he didn't say yes, because if the ballistics come back to him.
Right. That he
No.
wasn't thinking there.
Mm-mm. So October 16th, the autopsy determines that Byron was shot in the back of the head, through the neck though, and it was a contact wound. So the gun was right to him.
Yes, and they said there was no way he could have done that himself.
That is horrifying to think that this man died this way.
How terrifying.
Carol Coates says it was not a robbery because he had a watch on and his wallet was there.
Yep.
Again, why are you not covering your tracks, people?
Yes. Wouldn't you just take it with you?
Make it look like a robbery at all times.
You even see the people who fake home invasions that will at least rough things up a little bit, dump drawers out on the floor. Yeah, take something.
But once they delve into the family, they find out that Byron, the seemingly quiet, simple man, has amassed a fortune in coins and quarters and gold.
I learned a lot about coin collecting from this.
Yes, there was a lot of how do we hide our money from the IRS in this
big time. Yeah, there was a lot of here's how you hide your money.
Yeah. So he had close to $1 million. That's in a bunch of safes in a locked room behind the garage. Not safe. Not safe.
No.
I'm just going to say this. He had it in safes, which is fine, but this whole thing, like keeping a shitload of money in your house, not a good idea.
And telling people about it, even people that you think you can trust, you don't do that.
Yeah. So in November of 2022, there were 2022. Is that right?
12, I think.
Yeah, you're right. 2012. Sorry. No. Nope. It had to be 2011 because October 12th, 2012 is when he was killed. This is November. It had to be 2011. There were reported multiple break-ins to the garage, and his safes were there, and they even hung a noose in the barn, and Lynette was freaked out, and so they all moved.
I mean, that's menacing.
That's menacing. Lynette says so now we get into the suspects. Okay. The first suspect, and this comes from Lynette and Gina.
This was very intense.
Is Gina's son, Corey Higgs.
Yeah.
I'm of two minds of this. Yes, thank you.
This is very complicated. No, I know. I'm glad. I have very complicated feelings about Gina and Lynette and some of the things they said about him.
I can't imagine the pain for any parent who has to be in a place where they have to accept that their child could have committed a heinous crime like this.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Like, we see this and we talk about this a lot, like with parents. We just talked about it when we covered Christelle Krug.
Yes.
And Danielle Krug's parents.
Yes.
Like, they're trying to believe them, but then, like, the evidence becomes a little too overwhelming.
I'm sorry. Support is waning. Yeah, I've been using that in my vernacular all the time now. I say that to Mitchell. Support is waning.
That's coming, you guys, in January on Murder Club. So Lynette says, look, this kid is an asshole, and it makes me want to puke that he is my stepson.
I was like, holy
hot take,
Lynette.
Gina has 2 other kids, and Lynette loves them, but not Corey. Oh God, this is hard.
This was really hard to hear. And even the way his own mother speaks about him, it's not even just his stepmom. It's awful.
It's hard. Like, it's one thing to be brutally honest.
There's a difference between that and
this. I feel like Lynette, and they're editorializing a little too much.
Well, and like, we don't get much information. We don't know we find out some of the things that were probably going on with Corey, but there was not a lick of compassion or empathy for those kids, for Corey. And it really bothered me a lot. I mean, and they're talking about how it sounds like he maybe had some mental health issues he was struggling with. And the fact they're like, oh God, what a nightmare. We had to get rid of him. Yeah. It was just very, and I'm a special needs mom, and that stuff really, really, that's a sensitivity for me.
Yeah.
If he has mental health problems, he did not choose to be born with them.
Right. And there's also the other side of that, right? Which is, if you do have a kid that, let's say, is very violent,
which is terrifying.
I don't know how you parent through that. Like, my heart goes out to all the parents who are dealing with that stuff, because wow, how complicated, and you have all my respect, because
absolutely. I guess the fact that they didn't seem to sound empathetic at all, I struggled with that.
Well, we learned that he's been very violent, and at 17 he had to go into foster care, and even though the court believed that he should have no contact with the family, Corey was hanging out with Byron on the reg as a positive role model,
a mentor situation. Yeah,
they grew very close because Corey always wanted Byron always wanted somebody to kind of take over the business.
Yeah, and he had like a protege.
So, and by all accounts, Corey wanted to take over the funeral directing business. So, like, it seemed to work.
Yeah, he said he was interested in the business.
Yeah. But then Corey attacked Gina and broke her shoulder. And Byron was angry and kind of looked at him differently. And he ages out of foster care and moves across the street from the farm. And I'm like, okay, at the end of this, I was like, you left out a lot in between there.
Well, I was just going to say, I would like to have some more information, please, on
their relationship between Corey and Byron didn't just end because he attacked his mother. There was other stuff. Okay. So Corey has no alibi for Friday morning. He said he was home watching TV. He only lived 1.5 miles from the farm. He definitely would have been able to do this. He's willing to take a polygraph. Gina says Carol Coates is a good cop, but Corey is a very skilled manipulator, and I believe he had something to do with this. Okay.
I mean, okay.
Next, we go to Tommy Tomlin.
This was fascinating in its own right. I mean, we're meeting all kinds of people.
Yeah, we are. So he is the brother of good old guy Harry Tomlin. Tommy is bad, Harry is good.
Tommy bad, Harry good. That's so true.
Tommy's on meth and heroin, and he has been known to be violent. And at one point, I didn't write down, but at one point they're like, well, he was hanging out in an abandoned house. I'm like, I know exactly the kind of guy Tommy is. I used to date him.
Yeah, Tommy. And he was kind of cute.
Oh, yes.
I know. I was like, oh man, Tommy.
So he had been doing odd jobs at the time for Byron. And Harry says Byron was like family to him. And Tommy was the last person to see Byron alive. Yeah. They met at noon. No, I'm sorry. Harry was. They met at noon, and Byron paid him for some work that he had done. And he was stunned when he heard of the death. And then the rumor started that Tommy had done this.
Yeah.
So Harry says some of the rumors are that my brother Tommy showed up at a party covered in blood. Then he was also flashing around a lot of new money.
He had stacks of hundreds.
And don't forget, guys, he is a meth and heroin user. Like, he's not going to have piles of money because if you know an addict, you know what they spend it on.
Yeah, they're not going to keep cash.
So he takes a polygraph and he fails it.
This was scary. When he was getting aggressive with the detective, I was getting nervous. He was really combative with her.
He was really combative. I just wrote, yikes.
Yeah, I did too. That was scary. And the way he was looking at her, I'm sure she wasn't in there alone, but man, that was scary.
Carol says they did collect DNA from all of the suspects, but the crime scene was really clean. There was no physical evidence.
Yeah. So what do you do with it? I mean, and everybody was agreeable to giving the DNA.
Yeah. So the timeline is important here. Byron met with Harry around noon. He goes back to the farm. It takes him about 15, 20 minutes. So about 12:25, they figure he gets back to the farm.
Yeah.
And then 12:43, there are missed calls. So in that time period, he was murdered. So when he went back to that farm, somebody was waiting there for him.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So he was killed right when he got back. And this leads to our next group of suspects, Anthony and Charles.
Boom. It's about to get wild.
So apparently, at one point, a year before the murder, there were break-ins, like I said. And their Lynette and Gina say, our father, who aren't in heaven now, our father, was trying to hide the coins.
Oh,
so he calls Charles and Anthony. Oh my God.
Why would you do this? Byron.
Okay.
Byron.
Here's what you do. I'm going to tell everybody what you do.
Okay.
You get a backhoe and you bury your shit.
Seriously.
And then you tell your child, and that's it, where it's buried.
Yeah.
Your favorite child. Do you tell your favorite child? Nobody
the one
else.
You trust. The trustworthy favorite is who finds out.
The executor of your will. You tell them where it is.
Seriously, because why would you tell your friends this? And I know that they were good friends. However, I was thinking about this. They'd only known each other a couple of years at the most.
Yeah.
And I just, come on, Byron. I don't know. And he didn't want to put it in a bank safety deposit box.
Of course not.
Because I know we're hiding it, obviously. But
But you know what you do, Kyla? In your safe deposit box, you put a sealed envelope that says the GPS coordinates of where you buried the gold.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I could do this, I think.
I like this.
It's bonkers, and I don't know on what planet I would want to do this. Well, but you never know.
It's useful to have that in the back of your head. You never know. You never know.
First of all, what am I going to do? Bury my $67 that I have? You have to have gold first.
You don't. Amy, you and Timmy don't have a hidden room of gold bars and coins. Is that what your wood room really is?
We don't even have a box of quarters. They're talking about box of quarters here. So Charles,
those collector maps. Remember those?
Yes, and I think that's what he did.
Is that what it is?
He bought a box of every state's quarters.
And they said he had 400 or 500 of them. I mean,
yes. And Eric, Charles told Eric that you do this because technically, if you have quarters in it, it's a coin collection, and it can't be taxed.
That was news to me.
I know.
I know.
Again, not to get all crazy about the rich, but if you put half that effort into trying to make the world a better place.
Well, that's I agree.
So Byron did not take an inventory, but he did call several times and try to make arrangements to get an inventory. And you know what, too, Kyla? I also think maybe Byron felt safe because he thought these guys were rich themselves.
That's a very good point. He didn't think they needed the money. That's a very
Mm-mm.
good point, actually. I didn't think about that.
But like for some people, not all, but for
Mhm.
some people, there's never enough money.
Yes,
So
and
like, of course, they're going to
especially
steal it.
gold and coin.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just cash and no inventory. Byron, why didn't we have a ledger? My
I
God,
know.
Byron.
I know. So one of the other things that was really creeping up here is that Anthony and Charles had been to the farm a couple times, including when they picked up the coins, and Lynette was there.
Mhm.
And she's like,
Yes.
they came in and out the back entrance, but they're telling the police that they just waited at the front gate and nobody opened it. So they just
Mhm.
left when she's like, and the police
Mhm.
ask, is there any other way onto the farm? And they're like, no, not that I know
Yep,
of.
they're like,
So they
no, you
lied.
Yes, big time lied.
Because I bet you they went in that way if they killed him.
Yes, absolutely,
Yes.
especially if it's a back entrance.
So the brothers refuse a polygraph. And Anthony says, we don't trust them.
Which, listen,
I
that's
know.
complicated.
I know it is, because we have said two things on the show, which are
Uh-huh.
in direct opposition to one another.
I know.
Number one
Again.
is never take a polygraph. But number
And then-
two, you're guilty if you don't.
But if you're shady and you didn't, I don't like it. I know that is such a double standard. But
Yes.
Mitchell and I were talking about this as we watched it. I actually paused it and I said, I don't think I would take a polygraph test because I'm anxious to the teeth most of the time anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm being interrogated for murder,
Mm-hmm.
and I get like sweaty hands when I'm nervous. I would be just a mess. I feel like even if I wasn't trying to lie about something, I would still not do well, but I don't know.
I think it's the safest bet to not take one.
Right?
They're not
Yeah.
scientifically proven. They can't be used in a court of law.
Unless you're fucking Scott
just-
Peterson, right, Amy? He should have.
Right. However, because Scott Peterson is guilty, he didn't take it. Okay. I just want to
And
say
he
that.
still refuses.
Yeah. He is guilty. That's why he won't take it.
Yeah. It's different for Scott. Always.
All
Everything's
the rules
different for
don't
Scott.
apply to Scott Peterson.
Yep. Everything.
So in 2013, 4 months after the murder, Laura Anderson, remember Eric, the little guitar shop employee, and Eric and Pat's mom was a friend. And she says Anthony was just so kind. And she was a probation officer, and he was sort of talking to her about like the justice system because now he's a suspect for murder, I guess. They're bonding over this. And Pat is like, okay, something's going on. I get this call at school. Pat is her other son.
Being weird.
My mom is having a full-on breakdown. Episode 2, we find out why. Okay.
Yeah.
So apparently, Laura has discovered, and we don't know how she discovered, I wish we did, that Charles and Anthony are not brothers, Kyla. They are lovers.
They are a couple and are not brothers, everyone. Holy shit. What a ruse. What a ruse.
What a ruse. Like, I'm trying to put myself in that mindset.
Me too.
Like, okay, they lived in Salt Lake City. That kind of stuff's not going to fly.
No.
And I shouldn't say that because there's many people in Salt Lake City who, embrace queer people and are queer themselves. But the overall sentiment, I feel like, it is very easy for me to imagine not feeling safe as a queer person in some of these communities. I'm just going to say that.
100%. And like our little Larry Nelson, that one old man in the straw hat that they kind of cut to randomly here and there. I'm a fan.
That who you were talking about that you were obsessed with?
I love his little truth bombs. He did say a couple things that I was like,
okay. I didn't have his name written down. Okay.
He said self-preservation. He was like, I'm sure that, and I believe that. And they were business owners. And I would imagine it's going to be more of a hurdle to be an openly gay couple in a small town.
Yes.
Who's opening several businesses. I just feel like I understand the thought process.
I kind of do too. And even though it was like, what?
And I mean, maybe they shouldn't have kept it going.
Right. Even though I was like, oh my God, this is wild, I didn't necessarily blame them for it.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, this
agree
is sort
completely.
of a society we've created, right? To force
Yeah.
people into the shadows. So,
And they were a
unfortunately.
little bit they were at this time, what were they, late 30s, early 40s?
Oh my God, that's a rough looking late 30.
Or 40s. I'm getting my
Yeah.
people mixed up.
Yeah.
But they were, a little bit older,
Yeah, they
and
were
again, when
not
they were young
young men.
adults, that would have
Mhm.
not
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, gotcha.
yeah.
So, okay, so Laura finds this out, we don't know how, and, she tells the cops, she runs down to the police station, like, tells the police, and she says, "I just found this out at, like, 2 p.m. today."
Yeah, yeah.
Eric says, "They were gay together for 24 years, and now he's leaving Charles to be with my mother, and my
Yeah.
mother's leaving a stepfather who raised us." So, like, Laura and
They're
Anthony
blowing
are
it up.
blowing up their lives.
Yeah, that man,
Mhm.
and it sounds I was just so interested, and I felt for Eric because it sounds like they were very close to their stepfather. He sounded
Yeah.
not oh,
Hopefully,
that's
the
so
stepfather
sad.
will still stay in their lives.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
absolutely.
So, Anthony says, "We did call ourselves brothers when we came to town to help us be accepted."
I
And
understand.
he says the last 10 or 15 years, like, our romance has just been
He said they hadn't had
gone.
any
Yeah.
intimacy in a while, yeah.
But, you would imagine they're entangled. Like
That
any
would be a
other
lot.
relationship. They have a
Yeah.
lot of businesses together. I don't think they're not legally
I don't
married.
think so, mm-mm, and they're homeowners together, I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah, and if a lot of the businesses were in Charles' name, so Anthony's not gonna get anything.
Exactly, I mean, if
I don't
he's
know if
out
they have a what would it be if you're not legally married, but you have, like, a partnership?
like a domestic partnership,
Domestic partnership, yeah.
yeah, or if,
Maybe
like,
they
their
have that?
state
I
does
don't know.
common law.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that morning, Anthony told Charles, "I'm leaving you." And he
Yeah.
said he was willing to leave the businesses and the money and walk away from it all just to be happy with his new love, Laura. And he knew Charles was vindictive and he assumed they'd like kind of work these things out down the road.
Yeah.
So Anthony walks out the door to go to the apartment Laura has procured for them.
Yeah.
And Charles is on the phone with Laura before Anthony even gets there. And he's
Yeah.
like, "We're lovers. I'm blowing this up. We're lovers."
Yeah, and that it just all blew up so fast, and I wish we got a little more information about that, I will say,
Yeah. Yeah.
because then chaos ensues.
Well, because also it speaks to like credibility, right? Like, did
Mhm.
Anthony come to Laura and tell her this? Because
Right.
then that gives him a little more credibility in my eyes than she found out.
100%. Yeah,
So,
and was there an ultimatum involved? I
mhm,
don't know.
mhm.
Oh,
So at one point, there's this weird thing where Anthony leaves Charles a note saying, "I hold no one responsible for my actions other than myself. Please don't hold anyone responsible for what I've done."
that was interesting, wasn't it? And people are taking it as a confession.
And a suicide note. And the whole town is scrambling their jets to go look for him.
This was wild. I
Yeah.
didn't really take it as
Mhm.
either, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I just took it as a note to Charles.
I did too, like, kind of like an "I'm leaving you" note.
Yeah, yeah,
That's all
yeah.
I took it as. I did not yeah.
I agree. So, all right. Now, they say that here's their timeline here. They say
Yeah,
they left Fowler about 1 p.m. So they go out to the farm. It's
yeah,
12:30. They fuck around or 12:45 they're calling, right?
yeah, yep,
They're fucking around for 15 minutes or so and then they say they leave and they stop at a buffet restaurant in
uh-huh.
Pueblo to eat, but the swipe in there was 2:26.
That's a big old time
There's
difference.
a missing hour, basically, is what
Yes.
happens here.
Well, and,
There's an hour they can't account for.
they point out that, Byron, they try to downplay how they didn't wait because they say he was flaky and this happened.
Mhm, mhm,
Okay, so wouldn't you if this was me and I'm driving an hour to meet my flaky friend for
mhm.
a thing, I'm gonna call my friend before I leave my house to be like, "Are we still
Yes,
doing this?"
yes, I
Because
agree.
that I thought, and not waiting around for more than a few minutes after you've driven an hour. I don't know. I don't like
So,
that.
now we get the car. Anthony and Charles both said they were driving a black Mercedes that day. Well,
Mm.
guess what? They were caught on camera at like a Lowe's or a Home Depot situation in a white Astro van. So they drove a van out there.
I mean, and lying about it makes it look so much worse.
And Carol Coates, I mean, I have to give her points for this one. And the answer, we don't have the answer as to whether Byron drove or not. But she's like, they clearly weren't out there to pick him up and take him to lunch because there's no third seat.
No, they said it just had a driver and a passenger seat. It was like a cargo van.
Yeah, yeah. So where are they going to put him?
An 80-year-old man.
Unless he drove and they would go in his car. I don't know.
I would imagine he probably drives if he's out at the farm by himself. I don't know.
So they say that the farm is isolated. There's no way a neighbor would have heard a gunshot and, you know, whatever. Yeah. So now we learn of other business owners really hating Anthony and Charles. Eric says they were always kind of operating in the gray, like kind of
just a little slimy,
kind of breaking the law, but not really, like kind of like putting all your money in quarters so you don't get taxed on it.
Yeah, just things like that. Yeah, that's a prime example.
And there's like another funeral director who's like, they would go to pick up bodies in t-shirts and jeans. Have some fucking respect.
I appreciated that, man. And like, you know, I am not a traditional person, but I agreed. If you have some respect when you're going to pick up a deceased person. But that guy was funny. I liked that guy.
He was good. And Charles started a church to be tax exempt.
This church.
So he was probably funneling a lot of his money through it.
I bet Charles was doing a little money laundering.
Eric says, oh, yes. And Eric says everything was about hiding tax revenue, like everything. Ugh. Again, put some effort into doing something good for the world.
And doesn't it, I feel like it would get so stressful to constantly be living like that, constantly hiding shit and being shady all the time. Like, God, isn't that exhausting?
The best is Jim Bullock, the DA, says Charles was catfishing people, pretending to be much younger and pretending to be like in a rock band and a 25-year-old, and he was 55.
Charles just keeps getting like shadier, and those selfies and those pictures they kept showing of Charles, that tongue one was chilling, and I'm good to not see that again. That was scary.
Well, we also have a mysterious disappearance. Irene Whitty and her husband Frank. They had operated the funeral home next door, and when Frank died, Anthony and Charles took care of her and looked after her finances. No.
Stop letting people involved in your finances.
No. Could you imagine? Think about this. You're an older person. You have no kids, right? You're an older person. You have no siblings. No kids, no siblings. So you don't have nieces and nephews either. You really have to rely on your friends to be good people.
Man, you do. And you have to rely on trust.
Like, I'm sure she has a friend in her life that she's known her whole life. These guys she probably just met.
That's what
a couple years ago.
Because they haven't lived in this town all that long. No. Or even like a lawyer that can give you some, I don't know.
Get a lawyer. That's excellent.
People who take advantage of elderly people.
Oh, it drives me crazy.
Yes, same. It's just sick. It's so fucked up. I hate it.
She changed her will like a week before she died. And left Anthony and Charles like $1 million. So did they have a motive for killing Byron? Business was slow. They were running out of money and they were spending it faster than it was coming in. Boats and hoes, people. Boats and hoes. That's what they were buying.
Gotta have more boats and hoes. 37 vehicles. Yeah. I mean, it's insane. That much stuff.
The IRS was starting to catch up to them.
That was, again, pay your taxes. How often do we see this?
I know. We see it a lot. So they did get a warrant for the van. They find nothing. They go back to Corey and they find out that he had a motive. So Corey had made allegations that Byron was sexually assaulting him. And Corey says, we got along great. Corey is not in the documentary. I just want to make that very clear. We're hearing this, from the cops and stuff.
Yeah. His interview footage.
Corey was saying that we got along great if I was doing things he wanted sexually, and Byron was giving him money for sex.
That broke my heart for Corey.
It broke my heart, and I'm going to tell you something. I kind of believe it.
I do too.
Yeah, I kind of believe this kid.
That was there was some victim blaming with this Corey.
Of course.
And not believing him in that. I was really struggling with that a lot.
Lynette and Gina do not believe him at all. Byron was
Mm-mm.
arrested for this. He told Gina and Lynette he didn't do this. He was charged with sexual assault of a minor and found guilty and could no longer see his grandkids. He was embarrassed, ashamed that people believe this. The only reason I think it might be true is because we hear that he's paid other people for sexual favors. Like he's doing
it's
it
a
with
pattern.
Tommy.
Yeah, it's a pattern. That's why I thought so too. If it was more isolated, maybe, but yeah, he did this. And if Corey was a minor.
Okay. Now this, I had a problem with this part of the documentary.
Okay.
We learned that Bob Fowler was the coroner, and Byron gave him a personal letter saying, if anything happens to me, read this letter. But we never hear what's in it.
Why would we not hear that? Why would they do that? I know, Amy. I know.
They never say.
That's so mean. Why would they do that to us?
Wow. Okay.
There was a couple little things like that they would just kind of sprinkle in and then not elaborate on. And I was like, wait.
Yeah, like who does Byron think killed him?
Yes.
If he's, open this posthumously, let me know who you think my murderer is.
Yes. I thought it was going to be something like that. But no, we don't go into that. And no.
It's interesting because Carol Coates really believes Corey, and she says he has gained nothing by pressing charges against Byron. He lost everyone in his life, and he passed the polygraph, so they ruled him out.
Yeah.
So let's go through this, Kyla. We have 3 suspects, okay? Corey takes a polygraph and passes. Okay? Anthony and Charles refuse to take it. And then you have Tommy who takes it and fails it and then gets real aggro. Okay, so that's where we're at. That's the status of the polygraph.
Yes, absolutely.
So Carol says she believes that if Corey was even approaching the farm, that Byron would have called 911. And here's another thing. How would Corey know that Byron was coming to the farm that day?
Literally, yes. I was just going to say that. Those 2 things, Carol making that point, because I agree. I think Byron would have called. And how would he have known he was there? Especially because nobody was living there. And, initially Gina or Lynette said that he lived across the road, but it wasn't really. It was down the road a mile and a half. Yeah, a country mile. So he wouldn't have necessarily known that.
Yes. Like I say my neighbors, but they are like a mile 100%. Away from me. Yeah.
Yeah. A country block and a city block are very different.
Very different.
Yeah.
So Carol says, we now found out that Tommy and Byron were in a relationship that was withheld from us. So they call Tommy in and ask him, and he admits, yes, we had some, quote, homosexual tendencies. Yeah. Byron would invite him over to have turkey pot pies and to watch porn. Sounds like a great date for me.
I mean, sit down.
I love a turkey pot pie. I'll watch porn while it's on. That's fine. Whatever.
I'm not offended. Yeah, I'll watch it. I don't care. Are we critiquing it?
It was just hilarious. The thought. There's something almost sweet about it. Like the thought of these 2 gentlemen just eating their little Stouffer's pot pie and watching hardcore porn. I mean,
at their TV trays as they were, and they're just like watching. I know. It's very odd, but I totally get it.
So Tommy says he would give me money for sexual favors.
Yeah.
So they realized Tommy mostly met with Byron at his house in town. And also, since he was kind of a wreck, they didn't know if he would be able to pull off the crime scene.
They didn't think he could do that clean crime scene. Yeah, they didn't think Tommy had it in him, which is fair.
So they rule him out, and the best point I think they made for his innocence is, and I don't know if I believe it, but is that Byron was kind of worth more alive to Tommy because he could milk him for money.
I think,
no pun intended. He could get money out of him.
There is some validity to that, though. You know what I mean? If he needs like constant cash flow,
right? Because we know that nobody stole, and nobody stole the money.
Right. Now that's a good point. Tommy is not, from the way he's been described to us, and I think from his own admission, I don't think he's going to leave a wallet laying there.
No, not at all.
There we go. We're working this out in real time.
So they're zeroing in on Anthony and Charles, but then as they get close to the arrest warrant, 3 months after Byron's death, Charles calls Lynette and says, we're getting arrested, so come and get your coins.
Come get your dad's things now.
So they go, but they bring Harry because Harry Tomlin, comes along and he has a permit to carry a gun. So he brings his little gun with
Made a
him.
point to say he has it legally.
Yes. I like him.
I do too.
So they get the coins, but a lot is missing. And Lynette says, when they came to get the coins, we had the Astro van squatting. That's how much weight was in it. And when they left, it was a pickup truck that was like,
it wasn't even halfway full.
No.
It was a fraction of what there was.
As they're leaving, somebody shoots out their car windows.
More on that, please. We didn't even.
What?
That's the other thing that we get no elaboration on.
Nope. 14 hours later, Angela, an employee of Anthony and Charles, tries to get a hold of Charles, can't get him. Anthony's living with Laura at this time.
Yeah. Episode
3 begins. Charles is dead. And no one can believe this. This is like the third body here that we have.
When I saw this, I was like, what? I didn't know that was coming. I really didn't know that was coming.
I didn't either. It was interesting. So Lynette is saying she's angry that Charles killed himself and wouldn't have to answer for her father. And Charles was the mayor at this time.
Yeah. Wild.
They announced his death in a city council meeting, and many people suspect this is a suicide. But here we go again. We get a lot of these. Is it suicide? Is it murder?
Well, and it sounds like a lot of people didn't know he was being investigated for murder.
No, nobody knew.
That other funeral director guy, the funny one that we like.
Yep.
He had so many funny one-liners, and he's like, oh, we'll see. So
Anthony says the last day he spoke to Charles was the day before he died, and he told Anthony, I will not be causing you trouble anymore. And Anthony says, I'm not sad to see Charles pass away because that was a part of my life I'd chosen to leave. That is stone cold wild.
Anthony,
they spent 20 years together.
And to just be like, whatever.
Very similar to how Paul McCartney reacted when he heard John Lennon was shot. I just want to throw that out there. That's a drag.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I thought of you yesterday. We were watching old SNL Christmas stuff, and Paul McCartney was in a sketch, and he didn't do a good job in it. And I was like, Amy would be happy to see that he didn't get a good laugh.
Next week on this very free feed, you're going to hear Karen and I talking about John Lennon Murder Without a Trial, I think it is.
Yes.
The Apple 2023 doc.
Oh, boy. Watch out, Paul.
And today, as we record this, he is dead 45 years.
Oh, man.
So anyway, a guy named CJ Young. We don't know if he's young. His name is Young.
Yes.
Was the last person to see Charles. And this disturbs me. Yes. He was a Boy Scout under Charles and Anthony. And now they're in a relationship that feels very Sandra Birchmore.
1,000,000%.
Yeah. Guys, if you're a teacher or scout leader out there, even if you're waiting till they're of age, do not date the people that you taught or taught or whatever you do with the scouts, mentored.
It's a good policy.
It's not a good look.
Save yourself the grief. Yeah.
So he was there that night, and he says, CJ was, and he says, he was dating Charles, and he says around 10:30, Charles started yelling out for help and said he felt like he couldn't breathe and couldn't even walk, and they decided he was having a panic attack, and then he seemed okay, but then it turns out he had a heart attack.
Yeah, the autopsy, I mean, we learned that it was really determined a heart attack.
Yeah, because people were like, he was 52 and newly single, and he was getting ready to do his hot girl summer, basically. Like he was getting tattoos and pierced things. Yeah.
They said.
Yep. So, like I said, there's nothing in his system in the autopsy. He died of a massive heart attack. The police do a search warrant on the house. In the house, they find a hidden compartment and they find several boxes of coins.
All these people in their hidden rooms.
I know, right?
It's fascinating.
One of the boxes, a couple of them, had Byron's name on it. Like they clearly stole his shit.
Well, Anthony's like,
I'm sorry. I can overlook the hiding the gay relationship. I totally get that.
Yep,
I can overlook a lot of things, but stealing from a person who trusts you,
taking advantage of someone's trust,
speaks to your character.
anybody that takes advantage of trust, yes, that speaks to your character.
Mhm.
And it's just gross. And his name is on that. And they're still trying to be like, well, no.
Mhm. And I'm sorry, Anthony knows all about it. If Anthony didn't, Anthony can't say, "Oh, I didn't know that was." Fuck you. You knew
I
about it.
agree. Totally.
Mhm.
Anthony likes to play dumb with everything
Oh,
in this. Anthony doesn't know anything ever about anything.
you
And
know what
I
Graham
just
would say about Anthony? Oh,
that
that guy, he's good.
he's
He's
good.
good.
Yes.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm,
Graham should
mhm.
rip him to shreds.
Yeah, Graham would
She
say
would have
he's
loved
good.
that. Well, he is. He's just, and he tries really hard to be super, almost like childlike
Yeah,
innocence.
yeah.
You know, that vibe. He's
He's
just like, "Oh gosh, I
he's
don't know."
kinda like a sociopath.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a little scary.
My opinion only. So
Yeah.
Charles was the mayor at the time, like I said, and a lot of people didn't know what was going on. They even listed Anthony as his brother in his obituary.
Yes.
And some of the members of the community wanted to put a statue of him outside the
That
city hall. And the one funeral director's like, why don't
yeah.
we just wait?
He's like, "Let's wait a
Just
few
wait.
weeks and see how we
Just wait.
feel about it."
Mhm.
What? People must have loved Charles, though. I mean, uh
And now they say that he had always said he had a son in the Air Force and a daughter was a scientist.
Mhm.
But it was a lie, but they never say, did the kids not exist?
That
Or
was the way
was
I
what
took
they
it.
okay,
I
okay,
think yeah, they did not elaborate. I took it as they didn't exist, like the
okay,
catfishing thing, which
okay,
this is
alright.
wild. And catfishing people, come on.
I
Don't
know.
do that to people.
Alright, let's bring this home, shall we?
Yeah.
So they dial up the heat on Anthony.
Mhm.
But money's not coming in, so Anthony closes the funeral home. He
Mhm.
wanted to move on, build a life with Laura. They get married.
Yeah.
Guys, don't marry somebody who's suspected of murder.
Nope. Just wait. Let's wait and
Just
see how that
let
goes.
wait and see how it pans out.
You can be together and it's just the same. I'm a non-legally married gal over here.
Yeah. So April
It'll be all
15th,
right.
April 15, 2013, they charge him with murder.
Mhm.
They lured him to the police station to get his coins.
Yeah.
So he liquidates everything, says it's for lawyers and shit, which it probably was.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it is.
Troy
Ugh.
Zook is expensive. Troy Zook is his defense attorney, and he is expensive,
When
apparently.
he said it's gonna cost everything.
Mhm.
Mm.
He believes Anthony was innocent, and he says the case was circumstantial. They had no physical evidence. No, they didn't, Kyla. Why did they have no physical evidence?
Because it was a meticulously clean crime scene.
And why was that?
Did we have skills in that department? Did we maybe
Anthony and Charles were employed in Utah as
Yep.
crime scene cleaners.
They literally had that job. They literally were crime scene cleaners.
I almost died. I almost
I
died.
know.
I almost died.
They have done everything. Anthony and Charles had their hands. They are jacks of all trades. I mean,
So Troy says he spent 5 months investigating this, and he does find a 911 call made from a guy named Rob
yeah.
a few months after the murder who says, I know that Tommy Tomlin did this.
Yeah.
Rob is like, I'm nervous he'll find out I made this call. He's crazy. Da, 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 da. Troy goes to find this guy. This guy's dead.
Yes, everybody's
Mhm.
dead.
There was a confidential informant that said Byron had tried to hire him to kill Corey.
Mhm.
That informant is also dead.
What's going on here? Everybody's dead.
So many people wonder, okay, could this have been an assisted suicide? No. I have a whole theory that I'm going to roll out at the end here. And I know you
Good,
do
because
too.
I do too. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm excited to talk theory.
The DA says Tommy was with people. He was at the abandoned house hanging out on the day of the murder. Okay, that's real reliable. I don't trust eyewitness accounts most of the time anyway.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's fair. It's so easy to I don't know. I mean, I
was
don't know.
watching the Unsolved Mysteries Lady in the Lake. Do you know that one?
Yeah.
That our girl Sky Borgman did.
Yeah.
And the mother disappears, and the daughters are basing their entire theory that something happened to her on one or two eyewitnesses. I think it was only one who said she came out of the church, looked this way, didn't see her car, and then the car was there later. I'm like, it was dark. She could have not seen it. Like the whole eyewitness thing and all the eyewitnesses who saw Lacey Peterson walking her dog Don't even get me started.
I know.
Mhm,
I know.
mhm.
And it's hard. And I know that you want to cling to that, like with those daughters.
Yes, of
You want
course.
that to
I
be
would want
true.
to
I
too.
get
Yeah.
it. I get it.
Yep.
But ooh.
Yep. 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 All right. So they don't think that Corey had the ability to do the murder and clean
Mm-hmm.
it up that way.
Mm-hmm.
The bottom line for me is how clean that crime scene is.
Yes.
That
100%.
is everything to me. That's the
That,
strongest piece of evidence in this case.
mm-hmm.
Is ironically, the strongest piece of evidence is the lack of evidence at that crime scene.
Isn't that funny how that is
Mhm.
what got, like, I
Mhm.
totally agree with you.
Yep.
They messed up several ways, and we'll talk about that when we talk theory,
Mhm.
but no, I totally agree with you.
So the DA says, "Yes, my case is circumstantial, but here it is. They're missing for an hour. They lied
Mhm.
about the car they drove. Their
Yeah.
stories seem rehearsed and change at the same time.
Yeah.
And they claim they didn't know about the back entrance of the farm that we know they did."
Mhm.
Now, we don't know they did, right? Lynette and
Mm,
Gina are the only witnesses to that.
correct, and, I mean, it's true that they've been there multiple times, I think, and
Mhm.
I don't know. Yeah,
Okay,
I believe that they knew it.
Here's a question. Did we look for tire tracks back there?
Ah, good point. Did we even check for that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Amy. Yep,
Yeah.
the forensics.
Yes. So even now, Anthony downplays how many times he was at the
Yep.
farm. Mhm.
Mhm. Big time.
So the jury deliberates. It's a hung jury. And all of a
Mhm.
sudden, the DA offers Anthony a plea deal, and he pleads guilty to accessory of murder. He gets 10 years probation, and Lynette and Gina are incensed.
Mhm.
They're so pissed off about this. Lynette feels their family was screwed over by James Bullock, the DA, and Lynette wants a fucking answer.
Yeah, Lynette is not taking this.
Mhm. So the documentary ends with the producer asking Anthony if he killed Byron Griffy. And he's like, I absolutely 100% did not do it, nor did Charles. Now, I will say a point in the Anthony could be innocent category
Yeah.
is if he and Charles did it, this was his chance to say, Charles did it.
I
Charles is
know,
dead.
right? He didn't I thought that was super interesting
Mm-hmm.
that he didn't throw Charles under the bus like
Mm-hmm.
that. And
He
he
could
just said he
have.
was happy he was dead. So,
Mm-hmm.
hmm.
Anthony thinks Tommy and Corey had a part in it and Lynette. He said
Yeah.
Lynette had a big financial motive and Byron had complained constantly about supporting her. Captain Coates says Lynette was at work all day and they didn't hear
Yeah.
any rumors about Byron being upset with her taking
Mhm.
money from him. Now, today, somewhere in Colorado, Anthony's cutting his grass, chilling with Laura. Laura says, we wanted to be together, and we are. And she says, my little baby Anthony has suffered because
Oh,
just because he's not in prison doesn't mean this hasn't been hard. Okay.
I
All right.
mean, yeah, no, I thought so too. I mean, he's still not in prison. He's on probation. I mean,
So I laid out the case. Okay.
all right.
Now it's our time. As
Yes.
certified couch detectives,
Yeah. We've
we have
through our
to
own
solve this.
accreditation.
Yeah, we have to
Yeah.
solve this.
Mhm.
Kyla, where do you stand?
Okay. I made poor Mitchell. I made him sit on the couch last night and I stood there and I said, "All right, here's my theory." I like
Okay.
rehearsed this with him last night.
Okay.
So, I think I am of the camp Charles and Anthony did it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I think they necessarily intended to kill him from the
Mm-hmm.
jump. I
Mm-hmm.
think that after Byron had started storing coins there, he was an 80-year-old man, and they were like, one, he's going to probably forget about some of this, or maybe he'll die. And
Mm-hmm.
then this is just going to be our stuff. And then once they learned that he had no inventory or tracking of it, I think that's probably when they were like, okay, we can have these. But then Byron wasn't backing off and he's still wanting to come do what he should be doing, taking inventory and
Mm-hmm.
doing record keeping.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why they killed him, because they were also in bad financial situation and they needed the
Mm-hmm.
money.
Okay.
That is my theory. I don't
It's a
think
good one.
Corey
It's a good
or
one.
Tommy had anything to
Mm-hmm.
do with it. I think they're red herrings.
Okay. Mine is a murder for hire theory. I
Ooh.
believe Anthony and Charles did kill him, but I believe they hired Tommy to do it. And then when they went to the farm that day, they knew he was already going to be dead and they went there to clean it up. And that's why
Oh,
Tommy
that's
had the money, and that's why Tommy failed the lie detector, because Tommy did kill him, but Anthony and Charles ordered it and cleaned it up.
okay. I like
That's
that.
my theory.
Okay, because that kind of can be tied into mine too. I
Mhm,
didn't think about
mhm,
that.
mhm.
That's a really good point because when they talked about Tommy not being able to do the clean crime scene, I was
Mhm.
like, yeah, I kind of agree. Tommy seems a little unstable,
Yeah,
but that's a very good point. And if they cleaned it up,
because I think that gives them the ability to honestly say, "We didn't kill him,"
yeah.
and they probably didn't have to pay Tommy
And
much, and they probably
exactly.
promised him more money from the death.
Yes, and he would have let Tommy in, and Tommy and him hung out all the time,
Mhm,
and Tommy could have
mhm,
easily just snuck up right behind him and shot him. And that's probably why he
mhm.
was look at that, see?
Yeah, that's what I
That
think.
I like that theory. No, that
Mhm.
makes a lot of sense because the Tommy having cash thing and Tommy being covered in blood,
And
allegedly.
Tommy failing the polygraph.
Yeah, that makes sense, and his
Mhm,
aggro reaction to getting so defensive.
mhm.
I
Now,
like that.
I would be interested to see if in a few years, if Tommy cracks and either comes,
Yeah,
tells somebody
yeah.
or is murdered.
Well,
Mm.
yeah, that's a
Mhm.
really good point because I mean, this just came out a few weeks ago, even
Yeah,
what,
yeah.
2 weeks ago? I
Here's
mean,
a murder she watched pro tip.
yeah.
If you're gonna hire somebody to murder somebody for you, they'll murder you too. So be real careful.
Yes, and make sure you're not talking to an undercover cop.
And
So many things we
likewise,
see.
if somebody hires you to do a murder, they might wanna get you out of the way too. So they might murder you as well.
It's like they say, I
Don't get
forget
involved in a murder for hire at all.
no, and if
Mm-mm.
they always say, "If you're gonna commit a crime, commit it alone, and don't tell anybody."
Don't tell anyone.
And, you know,
Take it to your grave.
in the Ida Whitty, was that her name? The poor
Uh,
little Irene?
yes. Yes, I closed my
A
notes, but I
week
believe that was her.
after her will changed, something happened to her a
Mhm,
week after.
mhm,
Oh, that pisses
mhm. A
that one
week
real
after.
that's just that poor little old woman. I don't know.
It
Oh,
just makes me really angry when people, like you said, take advantage of older people, especially somebody like that, like her and her husband, Frank, I think her husband's name was,
yes.
worked their whole lives to,
Yes.
build a business and come up with that $1,000,000 or
And you just
whatever.
treat her like she's
And we don't know
trash.
who the will was changed from. Maybe she wanted to leave that to a charity or somebody who helped her out in her life, or maybe they do.
But
I don't think they have kids, or that would have been contested
no,
100%,
yeah,
but
absolutely,
or
but
maybe a
still.
cousin or something. Who knows?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or the
Yep.
town. There was a
Yep.
wealthy man in my hometown who didn't have children, and he left
Yeah.
money to the town, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Oh,
mean, it's wild.
this was a wild ride. I liked it. It was interesting.
I'm so interested to hear what you guys think. So
Me
please,
too.
in the comments, if you're
Yeah.
watching on YouTube, please leave it in the comments and subscribe to the channel. And if you're listening on podcast apps,
Yeah.
please, Patreon, Facebook group,
Comment.
wherever you interact with us, let us know what
Yeah.
you think. Yeah.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see where this goes because now that it's getting more media attention, if people are
Mhm.
doing interviews or anything like that, I'll be
Mhm.
really interested to see. I wonder if Anthony's gonna lay low. I wonder if Anthony's gonna regret doing this. I thought about that as I was
He
watching
might.
it.
He
I
might.
feel like,
Yeah.
they might, yeah. Ooh.
Like a Kendra situation from
Yes.
Unknown Number where she has to regret that, right?
How could she not? She can't she's gotta be able to, like, go in
Ugh.
public. I mean, I
I
don't
know.
know.
She can't go to a Home Goods.
I
People are
mean,
screaming at her.
rightfully so, Kendra.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh god. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for your support. Like I
Yeah,
mentioned, we
thank
do
you.
have a Facebook group. It's called Murder She Watched Couch Detectives. Link is in
Yes.
the show notes. Jump in there where we share our theories on cases and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Kyla,
Crime
thank you
stuff.
for
Thank
your
you, Amy.
expertise.
This was fun. This was a fun one.
And if you are on Murder Club, our $8 Patreon, or
Yeah.
you could subscribe through Apple, tomorrow is our last staircase episode.
This is a moment. Oh,
And let
a
me
moment
tell
for
you something,
Michael.
Kyla. It's
Oh,
Michael
Michael.
Peterson is here. Let me tell
Hi,
you something.
Michael.
I am very upset that there's not going to be a whole podcast dedicated to talking about me anymore. I don't know what I'm
No.
going to do. I might have to call Becca and Amy and just talk to them on the reg and hear their theories
I
about me
think that's a
because I'm
really
a
good idea.
very, very important man.
Well, and
very
I'm
informative.
sure you could give insight on how another wealthy white man, Alec Murdaugh, is living his life, Michael. So,
Oh God, yeah, I'm gonna miss covering the staircase.
oh,
And
Michael's not
I
gone forever. I
just a
have a
little,
feeling.
just a little bit of a teaser. We did render our final verdicts. One of us is Team Owl. One of us is Team Michael pushed her down the stairs.
Okay, I bet I can guess who's who.
We'll see. Who do you
Yeah.
think? Just tell me. I won't tell you if you're right or wrong.
Okay, I think Becca's Team Owl. Your Team Michael pushed her down the stairs.
You'll find
Okay.
out. Okay.
Okay. All right.
And then in January, we are doing Murdoch.
It's Murdoch.
Thank
Okay.
you.
I always say aw because I don't know. I've heard it
Well,
both
he
ways.
says it is Murdoch.
And it's Alec, right?
Yes,
But it looks like
yes,
Alex.
yes,
That's the one that I
yes.
don't understand.
Yeah, we none of us do.
No.
All right, guys. So thank you so much for listening. Thank
Yes,
you,
thank
Kyla,
you.
again
Thank
for
you,
your
Amy.
your work, your dedication, and all you do. Thank you.
Whoop, whoop. Go team.
All right, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to Murder She Watched. To support the show, please consider joining Murder Club, our Patreon. For $10 a month, you get a bonus episode every week, plus all of our episodes ad-free, and it just helps me pay people and keep the pod going. If you'd like to support us without a financial contribution, please consider leaving a 5-star review on Apple or anywhere you listen to podcasts.